He is the face of the highest grossing film franchise in human history, a global icon worth hundreds of millions, loved by generations, and celebrated as the ultimate embodiment of charisma and redemption. But long before he put on the iron suit, Robert Downey Jr. was considered a lost cause. He was a severe drug addict, jailed multiple times, fired from every set, and labeled by Hollywood as completely unionsurable. This is the dark psychological history of a man who descended into the deepest pit of addiction and how he rewired his mind to execute the greatest comeback in cinema history. To understand his rock bottom, you have to look at how his addiction started. It did not begin in Hollywood clubs. It began at home. His father, an underground filmmaker, introduced Robert to drugs when he was just 6 years old. For his father, sharing drugs was the only way he knew how to express love. But his 20s, Downey was an Oscar nominated prodigy. But beneath the billions, a horrific addiction to heroin and cocaine was consuming him. His brain was caught in a lethal relapse loop. He wandered into neighbors' houses, will intoxicated, passed out in the strangers' beds, and was arrested repeatedly with weapons and narcotics. In 1999, a judge finally had enough. Downey stood in court and uttered a chilling description of his own mind. It's like I have a loaded gun in my mouth. My finger is on the trigger, and I like the taste of gun metal. He was sentenced to 3 years in a state prison. In prison, the global movie star was just another inmate in a orange jumpsuit. He was beaten up in fights and spent nights scrubbing kitchen floors. Even after his release, Hollywood turned its back. Studios refused to hire him because insurance companies would not cover the risk of his relapse. Then came the legendary turning point in 2003. Legend has it that after eating a burger, King Burger that taste so travel, it made him re-evaluate his entire life. Downey dropped to the ocean. He took his massive stacks of drugs and threw them straight into the Pacific. He decided he was dying. He did not just stop using. He completely overhauled his psychology. He devoted himself to Wing Chun, a traditional martial art requiring intense mental discipline, focus, and physical mastery. He combined 12-step therapy, meditation, and Eastern philosophy to physically rewire his brain's reward pathways. In 2007, director Jon Favreau fought tooth and nail against Marvel executives to cast Downey in a risky new project called Iron Man. The studio was terrified, but Favreau knew something profound. Robert Downey Jr. did not need to act like Tony Stark. He was Tony Stark, a affluent billionaire who built a suit of armor to escape his own dark past. The movie did not just save Marvel Studios, it ignited a cultural phenomenon. Downey used the exact same intensity that nearly killed him to fuel his discipline, turning his rock bottom failure into the foundation of his greatness. The psychological lesson of Robert Downey Jr. is a beacon of hope. No matter how deep you have fallen into the dark, your current state is not your final destination. You can always throw your demons into the ocean and rebuild yourself from scratch. What's holding you back from your own comeback? Drop your thought in the comments below. Hit subscribe for more psychological breakdown, and we will see you in the next orbit.